Game number 2 between Nebraska and Wichita State, just moments away from getting underway here at Bowlin Stadium in beautiful downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban. So glad you could be joining us this afternoon for game number 2 of today's doubleheader. Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Huskers and the Shockers. Beautiful day in Lincoln, Nebraska. So glad you could be with us to experience it. It's about 65 degrees up to 71 degrees now, with humidity pretty low, with winds south-southeast at 24 miles per hour. They've been steadily keeping at a pretty high pace today, about 20 miles per hour at least all day, with gusts up to over 30 miles per hour throughout the afternoon as it's up over 70 degrees. Gorgeous spring day, close to spring here in Lincoln, Nebraska, as you take a look at the Wichita State Shockers winners in game number 1 of today's doubleheader. They took it 6-2 over Nebraska in that game number 1, highlighted by Bailey Lange, the pitcher who went the distance for Wichita State, only allowing 2 runs and 6 hits and getting the complete game. And on the other side for Nebraska, they fall in their home opener this season, but they have a chance immediately to redeem themselves and get right back at it as we are ready to go. For Nebraska, Olivia Farrell is on the bump today for Nebraska. And leading things off for Wichita State is Mackenzie Wright. She was the leadoff batter in game 1. She's the leadoff hitter in game 2. Here we go. We are underway at Bowlin Stadium. Strike 1 delivered. And here we go in game 2.
Let's hope it's a fun one, Zach.
Now, last game was pretty much all Shockers in the final 4 or 5 innings, but Huskers will try to turn things around here as the 0-1 misses outside. 1-1 now.
Yeah, you said it. Started off all Nebraska almost. They led 2-0 in the second, and then quickly Wichita State rallied back in the top of the third, scoring 4 runs. And that was pretty much it. Nothing else the Huskers could do.
That pitch is swung on, and it's right back to the pitcher. What a catch by Farrell. Olivia Farrell. A phenomenal play for the first out of the game. How about that? Take another look, Caelan.
Oh, great reflexes right there. Olivia Farrell. And softball is really tough with that because the circle's closer to home plate. So, right as that ball is hit, you just have to react and see what happens. And she just kind of, hopped up a little bit and it snow-coned in her glove, and she made the out.
First pitch to Riley Buck is hitting the left field. That's going to get down in front of Gina Metzler, the left fielder, for a 1-out single for Riley Buck, who was in the same spot she was in game 1. She went 1 for 4 with a run scored in that first game, and she starts off here in the top of the first with the Shockers' first hit. Defensively for Nebraska, Maddie Unziker is at first, Laura Barrow is at second, Tristan Edwards back at shortstop, Lexi Knibe at third, Gina Metzler is in left field, Taylor Otts in center, Olivia Simmons in right, Allie Riley behind home plate. First offering to Lori DeRocco is in there for strike 1. Olivia Farrell, a 5'9" freshman right-handed pitcher from Omaha, Nebraska. And for Farrell, this is her 13th appearance, 7th start of the season. 0-1 misses just downstairs, a little bit outside. It is 1-1.
And obviously, Olivia Farrell, a very good player. Her 7th start, like you just said, as a freshman especially. And
most starts on the team now with her 7th today. Here's a 1-1. Swung on and it's a little bit of a piece, I think, but it goes into the glove of Allie Riley. So it is 1-2. Olivia Farrell facing up against DeRocco for Wichita State.
And Olivia Farrell, she is the first Nebraska pitcher to start as a freshman versus a ranked opponent.
Here's the 1-2. That's hit the left side. That is a fair ball. Into the corner it goes. Metzler will have to track it down up against the fence, and advancing all the way to third is Buck in for a stand-up double as DeRocco, Wichita State, picking up in game 2, right where they left off in game 1. 2 on and only 1 out in the top of the first.
Yeah, things have already started off extremely well for Wichita State.
Now that brings up Paige Llewellyn, who had 5 trips to the plate in game 1 and it went 3 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a single. So this is about as good as you could ask for of a situation for Wichita State coming out of the gate here in game number 2. First offering just misses down and away.
And Llewellyn had a fantastic game last time up. Went 3 for 5.
Had those 2 RBIs, yeah. Not bad at all. It's the 1-0. Breaking ball misses the outside corner. Gets away a little bit, and now it is quickly 2-0. Hitters count here. And with first base open, and now a 2-0 count. Interesting to see if Farrell sticks with the batter, Llewellyn, or will she move on to Caelan Bingham. Potentially one of those unintentional, intentional walks, perhaps. We'll see what she does. 2-0 swung on, lifted down the right field line. Playable perhaps for Unzicker, but she can't get there and make the play. Good hustle by Maddie Unzicker, the first baseman, but she cannot track it down.
These ones are extremely tough, and it's just good to see the hustle there. Even though a lot of the times you probably won't make that play, but sometimes, you know, the off chance that you will, it's always good to run it out and try.
Wind steadily blowing to center now. Left center field. Here's the 2-1. Swung on and missed. Nice off-speed offering from Farrell, and the count evens back up at 2-2. Even when she fell behind 2-0, she's not shying away from Paige Llewellyn here.
That's important early on. You know, starting off 2-0 and just trying to rally back and make sure that you're in control. The pitcher is always in control.
It's 2-2. Just misses down and away on the outside corner. A few umpires in the crowd don't care for the call, but the count runs full, 3-2. Riley Buck is the runner at third. Ori DeRocco just doubled. She stands at second. One out just underway between Nebraska and Wichita State. That pitch is swung on and missed. Strike 3 off speed offering from Farrell. Completely froze Llewellyn, and she had to go golfing for it to no avail. That's a big out number 2 here in the top of the first.
Yeah, that's very big, especially with these runners. 2 runners in scoring position. You know, a hit or a walk. Hit will at least score 1 or 2 of those possibly, and then, you know, a walk leaves the bases loaded. That
brings up Caelan Bingham. First pitch swinging, and is down the right field line and foul, and ends up in the berm down the right field line. Quickly 0-1. Bingham right where she was in that 5 spot in the order in game 1. She went 1 for 2 with a run scored, a walk and a sac bunt as well. The 0-1. Fastball just misses on the outside corner. Nice pitch to lay off by Bingham, who is the starting pitcher today for Wichita State. Shockers improving to 8-7 in that game 1. Try to stay above 500 in game 2 with Caelan Bingham. But for now, she'll try to give herself the lead before she even takes the hill. That pitch is a slap to the right side to Laura Barrow at second, and she throws it on to first, and the inning is over. Huskers in a jam at the top of the first, but they are able to get out of it unscathed. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base. We're through 1/2 inning here at Bolin Stadium. No score between Wichita State and Nebraska. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus.
Husker fans, it's time for Coach Rebel's Fall Running Field. Number 36.
Huskers got out of a jam in the top half of the first inning, and they head to the plate for the first time in game 2 of today's doubleheader. Right here with Simmons, Edwards, and Jablonski. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus. So glad you could be with us for this doubleheader. This is the 8th inning of the day of softball that we have called. It's a long day here at the ballpark, and it's a long ways from being over as the first offering from Caelan Bingham. This is down and away to Olivia Simmons. It's 1-0.
It's a long day, but it's a fun day.
Ground ball to right side. Nice scoop by Riley Buck. A really good stop at the first baseman, and she steps on the bag for a quick out number 1.
One pitch. It's as easy as it gets.
Buck was pretty busy over there at first base in game 1, and first at bat of the day here in game 2 heads her direction. Now bring up Tristan Edwards, the shortstop, right where she was in that 2 spot in the order. She went 1 for 3 in game 1 with a single into right field. First offering from Bingham. Swung on and missed on a breaking ball. Nice first pitch from Caelan Bingham. Has Edwards behind 0-1. Caitlin Bingham, a 1-2 record this season. The 6.18 ERA. As that pitch is in there for strike 2. 6.18 ERA. This is her 11th appearance, as I mentioned. She sets 0-2. Just misses the outside corner. Good take by Tristan Edwards, the shortstop that time. Righty-righty matchup here. Edwards, the 5'7" sophomore from Marietta, California. Waits 1-2, slap to the right side. This is a tough play for Hecker at second, but is able to flip it to first base to Buck for the second outs. Quickly, 2 Huskers gone in the home half of the first.
Things are already moving on pretty quickly, and Tristan Edwards kind of hit that one at the last second, and that's why it went up to the second baseman. Very short, not a whole lot of speed on that one. A pretty simple play, but the good thing on those slow ones is that if you're quick enough, you might be able to beat them out.
So they'll bring up Caelan Jablonski here, and she was the losing pitcher in game 1 of today's doubleheader as Bailey Lange took the win in that game 1. Jablonski, the designated player here in game 2. 5'7" senior from Omaha. Waits the first offering from Bingham. Off speed, finds the strike zone. It's 0-1. Jablonski hitting .365 this season. Off to a really nice start. Leads this Husker team. The 0-1. That pitch is easy to lay off for Jablonski as it skipped into the dirt about halfway to the catcher Paragon. It's 1-1. She also broke the state record in Nebraska. I mentioned this in game 1, but she broke the state record for batting average over the span of a career in high school. As she fouls that off the catcher Paragon. It's 1-2. Her average in high school, .557. That's pretty unstoppable. And she's carried that here to Lincoln.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said, she's leading the team here, and just an amazing batting average. I just can't believe that.
2-time state champion with the Scott Skyhawks in Omaha, Nebraska. Bases empty, 2 out in the home half of the first inning, just underway in game 2. Here's the 1-2. Just misses the outside corner, does that fastball. Here's the big crack of the glove from Paragon. Home plate umpire Scott Greger says it's a little bit outside. Umpires rotating 1 spot each this game. Greger behind home plate. Michael Parker's the first base umpire, and Terry Holt, who was the home plate umpire in game 1, is over at third. Off speed, looped over to the right side for Buck, the first baseman, who makes the play. She stays busy and makes the play for the final outs of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for Nebraska. We've played 1 here at Bolin Stadium. No score between Wichita State and Nebraska. Stay with us. Second inning coming your way on BTN Plus. Through 1 inning here at Bolin Stadium. No score between Wichita State and Nebraska. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus. Gorgeous day for softball. The home openers for Nebraska. Game 1 taken by the visiting Shockers, though. The Huskers looking to turn it around here in game 2. Here is Madison Paragon leading things off for Wichita State. Looks at ball 1 as it drifts on by from Olivia Farrell, the starting pitcher for Nebraska.
You just said it. It's a gorgeous day outside. It's been beautiful all day and not too windy anymore. You see the flags were mainly pointing left, but now they're flying everywhere. So
luckily we've got our window open here, enjoying a little bit of a breeze. Not blowing our papers around. Everything's in order. Perfect. Feels like summer. But it's March 3rd, and we will have a snap back to reality this week when the highs are in the 40s every day, all week in Lincoln. That's just Nebraska weather, though, nothing too new. 2-0 is lifted into the air, shallow center, and it's caught by Laura Barrow, the second baseman for Nebraska. She bobbled it for a moment, but was able to hold on and make the play for the first out in the top of the second.
Yeah, that one almost looked like it slipped out a little bit, and you can see it on the replay here. It was high up in the air. She got under it in time, and it just
almost fell out.
Hit the end of the glove, and she corralled it with her hand. That's why a lot of the times if you want to catch a pop-up, you put your other hand there just in case that ball tries to slip away.
It's your fundamentals of softball and baseball coming from Caelan Debban.
That's exactly right.
Sia Weber checks in here for the first time. Looks at ball 1. One-0 misses the outside. It's 2-0 quickly, and Olivia Farrell became the first freshman ever at Nebraska to pitch and hit in a season opener this year. When she did that in Nebraska's first game of the season against BYU. 2-0 check swing hits off the end of the bat of Weber, and it goes back to the screen. It's 2-1.
BYU, a tough ranked opponent.
Nebraska won that game 5-4.
Good one.
So
Good
gotta
one to
win.
start. I think it went into extras, I believe. Check that for me.
It did. Went to 8 innings. Nebraska held on to win. That pitch is looped to the left side, caught by the third baseman, Lexi Knibe. Nice play by her. Had to drift back over her right shoulder, but was able to make the play. Quickly 2 gone in the top of the second.
Yeah, very smooth. Good play there by Lexi Knibe, and way to get things going.
Here comes Bailey Nickerson now. 5'8" freshman out of Paris, Texas. Hitting .250 this year. Bases empty, 2 out. First pitch fastball caught the outside corner, knee high. It's 0-1. Olivia Farrell, this is something more unusual, Caelan, that you don't see too often. She was a standout hockey player who received multiple D1 scholarship offers as a goalie.
Wow.
She went to Elkhorn South, and she got offers from softball and for hockey. Ultimately decided to go with softball.
I don't know. What would you do in that situation? You could either go for softball or hockey, or in your case, baseball. What would you do?
I think she made the right choice. I think she made the right call.
I would agree. And you had to hang out outside.
0-2 just misses down and away. So it's 1-2 now. Bases empty, 2 out.
That's very interesting, though.
You know, I want to keep all my teeth, too. That's important to me. So hockey's definitely you're more at risk to lose teeth.
That's a good point.
So, I mean, maybe the risk is still low, but it's definitely higher. 1-2. Fastball just hits the foot of Nickerson just back to the backstop. It'll stay at 1-2. Wichita State had that opportunity also in the first inning. They had runners at second and third with only 1 out, and they were not able to cash in. And it's still early in this game, but that could potentially be a moment that we will look back at in this game as a missed opportunity, a big missed opportunity for the Shockers.
Right, and they liked what they had going early, and that's always what you want to see for Wichita State. Trying to get some runs, and some base runners just couldn't get them in.
Here's the pitch from Farrell. Slow chopping ball to the left side. Edwards scoops it up, fires to first. A high throw to Unsicker, but she's able to hold on and make the play. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Shockers in the top of the second. Not much doing for Wichita State there. We stay scoreless through an inning and a half at Bolin Stadium. Huskers back at the plate when we come back. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. No score between Wichita State and Nebraska as we hit the home half of the second. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus as take a look at head coach Rhonda Revelle for Nebraska in her 26th season at the helm. A long time to be in charge of a club, and she's been here for a long time. 4-time Conference Coach of the Year, 19 NCAA tournament appearances, 3 trips to the Women's College World Series, 1 Big Ten title, and 1 time being the Big Ten Coach of the Year. The accolades just keep going on and on, Caelan, and she's been phenomenal in 26 years with the Big Red.
Yeah, extremely good career here at Nebraska for Rhonda Revelle, and yeah, 3 Women's College World Series appearances, and she's doing extremely well, and that's why she's still here.
Here comes Maddie Unsicker now, stepping in. Huskers went down in order in the first inning, trying to change that up in here in the second inning, but quickly Unsicker is behind 0-2. Maddie Unsicker, an Omaha native herself, went to Millard South, 3-time state champion there. Missed all of last season due to a torn ACL. 0-2 misses down and away. It's 1-2. but she's been able to come back, battle back this season. She's hitting .229 this year, .500 when she leads off innings. So let's see if she can get the Huskers started on the right foot in the second. 1-2. Fastball slapped to the right side, slow rolling ball to Hecker, the second baseman, scoops it up on to first to Buck. Out number 1.
Good routine play there.
That's 3 out of 4 batters for Nebraska that have come to the plate that Caelan Bingham is able to force into ground balls. And all 3 of those ground balls have been hit to the right side of the infield.
It's been a very right game,
if you will.
if you will.
Here's Allie Riley, the catcher, and she's swinging first pitch. Can't catch up to it. It's 0-1. Riley responsible for both of the Husker runs in game 1 on a 2 RBI single in the second inning of game number 1 of today's doubleheader, and that's all the Huskers had. Bingham sets, fires 0-1. That's right down the pipe again, 0-2. As now we have a quick stoppage in play with Allie Riley up, and this is Ryan Stefanowitz coming out to talk quickly with third base umpire Terry Holt. It was a very quick exchange. Couldn't have said more than a sentence there, Caelan, but he's already heading back to the dugout.
Yeah, we don't really know what happened there. Not always. Sometimes you just,
Hopefully it's not terribly important.
No, let's hope not. That's our job to find out. So
Here's the 1-1. That pitch from way downstairs in the dirt. Pretty good pitch to lay off if you're Allie Riley, and she's able to do so. It's 2-1. Riley, a 5'10 freshman from Alva, Oklahoma. She's hitting .333 this year. This her 10th at-bat of the season. That pitch is swung on and missed. A weak swing on a pitch that was down and inside. It's 2-2. Mentioned this in game 1. Riley is the only out-of-state player in Nebraska's freshman class this season.
She is from Oklahoma, where Wichita State gets a lot of their players from.
Yeah, definitely a lot of Oklahoma natives with the Shockers as Riley stays alive. On a pitch fouled off to the left side, it stays at 2-2. Won 3 state basketball championships at Alva High School, did Riley, so dual sport athlete. 2-2, way upstairs, easy to lay off. The count runs full. This is a good at-bat from Allie Riley.
Absolutely.
Battling it out, making Bingham work for it, who has not allowed a base runner yet. Sent the first 4 Huskers down to start off this game as the wind is really picking up now to left field. Here's 3-2. Swung on, chopping ball to the left side. Picked up by Dereka onto first. That's in time. Duraco, was able to make that play at short. And quickly now, 2 gone in the second.
I feel like we talked about this a couple times. A lot of players here for both teams played some sport, a dual sport or more than one sport in high school. Just shows of how good of athletes these players are.
Oh, absolutely. And that goes for probably most of the players on both teams that played multiple sports. Olivia Farrell stepping in now, who is the pitcher today for Nebraska. She's off to a nice start in this game between the circle, as she watches the first 2 pitches go by for balls 1 and 2. Farrell, we talked about her, the standout hockey player. Went to Elkhorn South, won a state title in softball there. That was actually last season. 2-0 swung on, that's back up the middle. Diving stop by the shortstop, Duraco. On to first, that's in time. What a play from Lori Duraco. Full extension to her left side, makes the stop, stands up, on to first, inning over.
Great play by Duraco there. Amazing save to dive, and a throw on her knees. She didn't stand back up at all. She just threw that from her knees and got the out.
No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on board. We're through 2 at Bolin Stadium. No score between the Shockers and the Huskers. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. No score between Nebraska and Wichita State through 2 here at Bolin Stadium in beautiful downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus. Game 2 of this 3-game series and Game 2 of this doubleheader. between the Huskers and the Shockers as Bailey Lange, the designated player, was scoring to bunt on the opening offering from Olivia Farrell. She pulled back, but probably shouldn't have. It's 0-1. Lange, the pitcher in game 1, was probably the best player in that first game. She watches the second pitch sail upstairs. It's 1-1.
Absolutely. You said that Bailey Lange was a huge reason why Wichita State's defense was very good and why they kept Nebraska to only 2 runs the entire game.
Only 6 hits, too, and only those 2 runs both in the second inning as this pitch is hit down the left field line and into the Husker bullpen. It's 1-2. Lange, a 5'7" junior from Sioux Falls, South Dakota, hitting 172 this year. Transfer from Northern Iowa. The Panthers, who are in what conference?
The MVC.
Which is where Wichita State used to be up until this season. Transferring over to the American Athletic Conference. Lange stays alive, fouls off another pitch. It'll stay at 1-2.
I know quite a bit about Northern Iowa.
The Panthers.
I do.
You know about them.
Just because. I had a brother that went to school there.
There you go. Oh, really? Okay. That makes sense then that you would be aware.
Of course.
Farrell sets 1-2 again. Swung on back to the pitcher. Farrell did it again. Another catch by Olivia Farrell on the mound. That's the second time she's done that in this game already, and we're only 2 1/3 into it. But she makes another great play at her position on the mound.
Yeah, she's been one of the best defenders for this Nebraska team already, and she's pitching. You know, that one, not as difficult of a play to make, but still a great play nonetheless.
Had to leave her feet there in order to catch it as we head back to the top of the order with Mackenzie Wright. 5'6" senior from Midwest City, Oklahoma, as the first offering misses down and inside. Mackenzie Wright, coming into this season, she had started in 162 of 166 games since arriving at Wichita State, as the pitch sails into right field, pretty much straight at Olivia Simmons for the second out of the inning. But Caelan, that's a very impressive stat to 166 games in your first 3 years with Wichita State, and you played in 162 of them. That's virtually unheard of.
Yeah, that's absolutely phenomenal. Which means that you're obviously a great team player and you know what you're doing and you're good enough to get on the field at all times. So, great job, you know.
Riley Buck will come up now. 1 for 1 today. 1 of 2 hits in this game in the first inning. That one is slapped to the right side, picked up by Burrow pretty easily, flipped to first, and the inning is over. 1, 2, 3 go the Shockers in the top of the third inning. We're through 2.5 at Bowling Stadium. No score between Wichita State and Nebraska. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. No score between Nebraska and Wichita State through 2.5 innings here at Bowling Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus. Game 2 of today's doubleheader. 7-8-9 due up for the Huskers here in the third, as Gina Metzler watches the first pitch go by. It's in there for called strike 1. Metzler, 5'3" senior out of Omaha. Went to Papillion La Vista High School. Here's the 0-1. Swung on chopping ball to the second baseman, picked up by Hecker. On to first, that's in time. Out number 1.
Good play to start off the inning there for Wichita State, getting things going already. And Hecker right here, a nice easy play to just move over a little bit right and just make a good throw.
Out of the 7 batters so far in this game, 6 have been groundouts already, and 3 of them have been to the second baseman, Hecker. Here's Lexi Neib. First pitch swinging, fouls it off to the right side, just to the left of the Wichita State dugout. The Shockers have not played a home game yet this season, but they will this week, starting off a couple of games on Tuesday, a doubleheader on a weekday against the Arkansas Razorbacks, and they roll into Wichita, Kansas. So they're looking forward to getting home and playing an actual game for the first time this year.
Absolutely. It's always pretty tough to start out your entire first half of the season pretty much, and you're not at home.
That goes for all teams that are northern teams, I guess, especially in softball when you start your season so early. Like Nebraska's first game was February 9th, almost a month ago. Here's the 1-1. Fastball misses up and outside, 2-1 now.
Yeah, being a team from the northern side, you know, you always go down to Arizona or California to play in tournaments down there and get the season started.
Wichita State's case, they've been in Texas the last 2 weekends. It's the 2-1. Fastball back to the screen as Knive just gets a piece to stay alive. Must be nicer, though, now. They get to go just pretty close to home. It's about a 4.5 hour drive from Wichita to come up to Lincoln. Not so bad.
No, not at all.
And now with a 2-2 count, Knive scoring to bunt, pulls back, and a chopping ball straight back to the pitcher. Bingham off of one hop, throws it to first. That's in time, 2 gone here in the third.
Nice play right there. Bingham just to be in the perfect position just to make an easy grounder. Nice throw to Buck to retire Knive.
That brings up Taylor Ott, the last Husker to bat for the first time. Number 9 hitter. First offering is down and inside. It's 1-0 between Taylor Ott and Caelan Bingham. Obviously a big time of the year for college basketball all around the country, and for these Wichita State Shockers men's basketball team, they're a pretty good team. They got Greg Marshall at the helm. He's one of the better coaches in the country. I think that's a dark horse coach. Of course, they went to the Final Four a few years ago. They made the big move to the American Athletic Conference this year, and
Right.
And even Wichita, they're hosting some of the first round games this year as well, which is obviously very exciting. That's the first time that Wichita has been a host for the first round.
Right, and you said the Shockers, you know, made that run to the Final Four a few years back, and their slogan was to shock the world.
There you go. Play angry, I think is what it was too. Play angry, shock the world.
It's always fun whenever you have that in your mascot. You just shock the world.
Pretty easy for him there.
Oh, absolutely, and basketball is something that we can talk about a lot.
Of course. It's a 2-2 count now between Taylor Ott and Caelan Bingham, with the bases empty and 2 gone. And that's 2 also because, you can already think of one team that's probably going to be going to Wichita, Kansas, and that is the Kansas Jayhawks, as this pitch is lifted on the left field line, and in pursuit was Mackenzie Wright, but she can't make the play. And I believe it's Charles Koch Arena, I believe is the name of Wichita's basketball arena, and it's one of the smaller arenas that's ever hosted a regional or hosted any games in the NCAA tournament. It's about 10,500 seats. So that'll be virtually some Kansas home games for them if they are put there. This one's in play to the left side. Tough play for Mackenzie Wright, the third baseman, on to first. That's too late. An infield single for Taylor Ott, the first base runner of the day for Nebraska, comes at the bottom of the order in the form of the center fielder, Taylor Ott.
Yeah, that one was really tough for Mackenzie Wright. She did the best she could. Just a low, slow roller there, going almost in between third base and the pitcher. You got to pick one here. You can see on the screen right now. So a slow roller there, and pitcher went for it, and then Wright came in and tried to make the throw. A good throw, but not in time.
That brings up Olivia Simmons, the leadoff batter in this order for Nebraska. 0 for 1 today, grounded out to first her first time up. That's the first hit that Caelan Bingham had allowed in this game. She got through the first 8 unscathed, but the 9th got on base. There's a 1-0, and there goes the runner. Throw down from Paragon to second is not in time. A stolen base for Taylor Ott. Now Nebraska has a runner in scoring position for the first time today.
Wow. Yeah, Olivia Simmons took off there. It almost looked like she was going to be thrown out, but a great slide there. And then the ball was a little slow off the catch, but good slide there to the right side of the bag.
Here's the 2-0. That's line to the left side. It's straight at Asia Weber. Going around third, digging for home is Ott. Here's the play at the plate, and she is out. What a throw from Asia Weber in left to gun down Taylor Ott, who just stole her 5th base of the year, which leads Nebraska, but she can't steal all the way to home. She's gunned down.
Yeah, very good play here by Weber. Wow. Perfect throw right on the money to end the inning here.
And that keeps this game deadlocked at 0-0 through 3 innings at Bolin Stadium. No score between the Huskers and the Shockers. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. No score between Nebraska and Wichita State as we are underway in the top of the 4th inning. 3, 4, and 5 due up for Wichita State. Duraco, Llewellyn, and Bingham. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. And quite the play to end that bottom of the 3rd inning. Caelan with a great throw from Isaiah Weber to gun down Taylor Ott.
Yeah, Taylor Ott just took off from second base after Simmons hit a nice ball into left field, or rolled into left field, and just a great throw, gunned her down.
Ott, one of the
scoreless.
Ott, one of the faster players on this team too. She has more stolen bases than anybody as this pitch is lifted high in the air to center. Drifting back on this ball is Taylor Ott at the track, at the wall. It is gone. A solo home run for Lori Duraco has given the Shockers the lead. It's 1-0 Wichita State in the 4th.
Great ball right there. And right off the bat, you can see that one going high and deep, and, well, it's out of here.
That's her first home run of the year. So in Game 1, it was Madison Paragon that hit her first home run of the year, a 3-run shot, and now it is Duraco that hits her first of the year. 1-0 Wichita State, just like that.
It's 2 home runs today in both games, both by Wichita State, like you just said.
And now it will be Paige Llewellyn stepping in. First pitch finds the strike zone. It is 0-1. Llewellyn playing right field today for the Shockers. 5'2" senior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Watches strike 2 go in. Llewellyn batting .350 this year. This is only her 21st at-bat of the season, so on the lower side compared to a few of these players in the Shocker lineup. Winding up is Farrell. There's the 0-2 in the dirt. Pretty easy pitch for Llewellyn to lay off. It's 1-2.
0-2 is usually the pitch that you just want to try something, and usually a breaking ball to see what you got there, and obviously not there, but maybe next time.
1-2. Swung on back to the pitcher, gets through her this time and into center field. A single for Llewellyn. Following up the solo home run from Duraco, and Wichita State now finding some offensive life. They've trying to pad their 1-0 lead. That's their 4th hit of the day, and it's straight back up the middle for Paige Llewellyn.
Right, they had 2 runs there in the 1st inning. Could not get the runners in, but here with that solo shot, and now Llewellyn on first. And actually in the first game, that's the 4th inning was where they scored their first runs, and they scored 4 of the 6 runs in the 4th.
Here's Caitlin Bingham, the pitcher in today's game. It's Allie Riley, the Nebraska catcher. Readjust one of her shin guards, it looks like, and now ready to play ball again. Bingham out to a nice start on the mound. No runs and 2 hits allowed, and a bunt out the left side that gets by the third baseman, Nye, but it goes foul. Fortunately for Lexi Nye in Nebraska, it did go foul because that ball got by her.
Yeah, that could have been very, very bad, but ball goes out of bounds, ball goes foul, and nothing doing right now.
Ball goes out of bounds versus ball goes foul. It's tough to get, basketball time of year, we talked about this. It's hard to go back and forth a little bit sometimes.
It happens.
It happens. Scoring to bunt once again. This time she gets it down in fair territory onto first. Gets the runner Bingham, but advancing to second on the sacrifice bunt was Llewellyn. As Bingham does her job, it moves the runner up to second base. A sacrifice bunt. That's the 3rd that Wichita State has done today between both games.
Right, and good talking right there by Nebraska to make sure who is going to get the ball and who's covering first, because 3rd and 1st both rushed, and it was Naib throwing to Barrow for the out.
So here's Paragon now for the Shockers. Watches the first pitch miss down and away. It is 1-0. Paragon started at 52 games last season. 51 of them as the catcher, and that's where she's playing today. 0 for 1 with a fly out to the second baseman, Barrow. That was in shallow center. to lead off the second. This pitch is lined on the right field line and foul. 1 ball, 1 strike here between Paragon and Olivia Farrell. Paragon is pre-med down at Wichita State. To balance that and being a student athlete, something that I could not do.
Yeah, pre-med, that's a tough major there. You gotta be very, very smart. Just know what you're doing, and it's a tough degree, and especially playing softball, there's probably a lot on your plate.
Yeah, definitely not easy, especially, you know, this is the time of year where if you're a student athlete and you play either baseball or softball, you do not have a single weekend where you're available from February until the end of the semester. So your entire second semester every year is just filled with your sport. As the 1-2 is slapped, tough play for the pitcher. Farrell picks it up onto first. That's in time. So you could somewhat consider it a sacrifice bunt as it moves Llewellyn over to third on a slow ground out by Paragon for the second out here in the inning.
Yeah, and here you can see it was kind of a last-second hit, almost like a bunt, like you just said. But Paragon tapped it, and a slow roller to Farrell, who made the play to Unziker. And she kind of hesitated there, a little lob, and maybe a little scary if Paragon gets safe there. Dangerous.
This is Asia Weber now. First pitch misses down and away from Olivia Farrell. Farrell here in her 13th appearance. Weber 0 for 1 today. Popped out to the third baseman, Naib, her first time. But a chance here to double the Shocker lead with a base hit. Here's the pitch. That just misses the outside corner quickly. 2-0. Hitters count now for the left-handed hitting Weber. Who's playing left field today for Wichita State, which is right where she was in game number 1 of today's doubleheader. She went 2 for 3. A couple of singles and a walk as well. 2-0. Swung on, lifted in the air, shallow left side, foul territory for the third baseman, Naib, who makes the play once again to retire the side. 1 run, though, for Wichita State as a solo home run from Lori Duraco gets Wichita State on the board as they take the lead 1-0. We're headed to the home half of the fourth when we come back. You're watching BTN Plus. Wichita State takes the lead thanks to a solo home run from Lori Duraco. That's the difference in this game as we hit the home half of the fourth. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus. 2, 3, and 4 due up for Nebraska here against Caitlin Bingham on the mound for Wichita State. Tristan Edwards leading things off, the shortstop, swinging on the first pitch and fouls it back. It's 0-1.
We talked about how Tristan Edwards is usually known for playing outfield. Last year she played a lot of outfield, and this year her first season playing shortstop. She's played every game so far for the Huskers.
That's where she is today. Here's the 0-1. This is up and outside. It evens the count up at 1 ball, 1 strike. Edwards 0 for 1 in today's game. Ground out to second her first time. Sophomore from Marietta, California. Hitting .352 this year. It's a 1-1. This is down and inside. Almost hit her along the way. It's 2-1. Edwards, the younger sister of course, the great Husker softball players Tatum and Taylor, who are twin sisters, both All-Americans here at Nebraska. Taylor, actually Nebraska's all-time home run leader. She hit 54 bombs in her career with the Huskers.
Zach, I wish I could hit 1 home run.
I wouldn't mind doing that. That'd be pretty cool.
Extremely.
But she hit 54 of them. Count moves to 3-1. Hitters count here for Tristan Edwards as Nebraska looks to get their leadoff batter aboard for the first time today. 3-1 pitch lifted down the right field line and into the Wichita State bullpen. Count now runs full. It is 3-2.
Tristan has 3 home runs this season and 7 total in her career.
So she's getting pretty close to catching up to her sister, who has 54. 3-2. Fastball misses upstairs. That is ball 4. A leadoff walk for Edwards, and the Huskers do get their leadoff batter aboard for the first time today. That's the first walk issued as well by Caitlin Bingham. You see that one more time. It clearly missed upstairs, and Edwards on her way down to first base. Here comes Caelan Jablonski. Watches strike one go on by right down the middle, letter high. Jablonski 0 for 1 today. A fly out to the first baseman, Buck, which ended the first inning. It was the first one for Bingham. Check swing to the right side and foul. Only Jablonski meant to go all the way around, and check swing tried to hold up, but it made some contact with the ball, so she's quickly behind 0-2.
Yeah, sometimes that happens. You check swing it, and like right as you do that, ball comes and just tips off the bat. You have to deal with it.
Always unfortunate. Here's the 0-2. Pitch misses downstairs. Nice offering from Bingham. Even better job by Jablonski to lay off the designated player for Nebraska today. Now 1-2. Bingham, the freshman right-hander for Wichita State. Here's her 1-2. Swung on in the air to center field. This could get him down in front of Nickerson. It won't, though, as Bailey Nickerson is able to make the play out in center for the first out of the inning. Heading back to first is Edwards. And Maddie Unziker for Nebraska is due up next.
Yeah, good play there. Nickerson just making a good read on the ball and hurrying up to make the catch. You and I both saw it looked like it maybe had a chance to drop, but not today.
Those always look like they're going to drop a lot faster than they end up actually going down. Here's Unziker now. First pitch swinging, staying aggressive. That pitch is back and out of play. And a young fan in the stands is able to track down that foul ball. Unfortunately, I don't think you get to keep him here, though. He just flipped it to one of the ushers. You definitely don't get to keep those balls. They cost money.
Man.
It's too bad. No souvenirs here. Here's the 0-1. Swung on slap to the right side. It's through the hole, but it's right below the legs of Kaylee Hecker on her way to third is Edwards. She'll stop there. A line shot off the bat of Unziker, and Hecker can't glove it. Runners at the corners and only one out for Nebraska.
That's huge right there. You can see it went right through the legs of Hecker and a diving stop by Llewellyn to get the ball and just try to throw it back in before any damage was made by the Huskers.
Now I'm taking a long look at the scoreboard, and they do rule it an error. I was waiting because I'm keeping score myself here. I want to know what they're going to rule that, and they do rule it an E4 against Kaylee Hecker. And now it's a conference for the Shockers here in the circle. Just the infielders and the catcher, Madison Parrigan. But they're all talking about this situation with runners at the corners. The batter is Allie Riley. And this is a big situation here where you just took the lead, and the last thing you want to do if you're Wichita State is give it right back.
Yeah, and this is a great chance for the Huskers to do it. They have runners on the corners, only one out, and who else to come out right now than Allie Riley, the freshman who doesn't have a whole lot of experience, but she had the 2 RBIs last game.
Responsible for all the Husker runs in game 1 of the doubleheader. Here's Bingham's first offering. That pitch misses down and inside. It is 1-0. And the more vocal of the dugouts right now, clearly the Huskers on the third base side, looking with what would be a base hit that could tie this game for the freshman Allie Riley. Bingham sets and fires. This is way upstairs and outside, and it is quickly 2-0. Hitters count here for Allie Riley, the catcher, who's 0 for 1 today, grounded out to shortstop her first time. Huskers with their first real threat of the game here in the 4th. The 2-0. Swung on down the left field line. That's a fair ball straight at the left fielder, Weber. 1 run scores. Holding up at second is Unziker as Allie Riley delivers again. We're tied at 1 apiece.
Great job by Allie Riley. Perfect swing of the bat down to left field right in front of Weber, and she sends Edwards home to tie up this game at 1.
So 2 on and 1 out. The next batter is Olivia Farrell for Nebraska, and we've got another mound visit here for Wichita State. Ryan Stefanowicz, in his 3rd season as the Wichita State pitching coach, coming out. An interesting story about this guy, Ryan Stefanowicz. He is from Omaha and attended UNL starting in 2012. Bachelor's degree in journalism, which we can relate to, and here he is coaching against the alma mater Huskers in Lincoln.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a double major, one of my majors being journalism, so always hats off to a fellow journalism major.
Journalism's good. I'm not majoring in that, but
It's in the college, though.
of course, we write all the time. broadcasting, sports, journalism, even advertising and public relations. You always write.
It's all similar. That's why they're in the same school.
Exactly.
Makes sense. I don't get why they do that. Here's Olivia Farrell, 2 on, 1 out. Chance to give the Huskers the lead. First pitch misses up and outside. It is 1-0. You can tell that Caelan Bingham's a little bit off of her game right now. For the freshman out of Tecumseh, Oklahoma, and she's still very young, obviously. It'd be easy for her to get rattled at moments like this as that ball is hit back up the middle. That's a base hit, and holding up at third will be Unzicker, as Rhonda Ravel, third base coach and head coach, won't send her home. Bases are juiced for Nebraska as Gina Metzler heads up to the plate.
Perfect. This gets the bases loaded, and great situation. Look at that hit right up the middle. Putting shortstop and the second baseman, and Ravel did not want to send Unzicker home, and a good call right there because she probably would have been toasted on the throw from Nickerson.
Bailey Klitsky for Wichita State is up and throwing in the Shocker bullpen down the right field line, as Caelan Bingham is running into some trouble here in the home half of the 4th inning.
Bingham's done a pretty good job about keeping her pitch count low. I mean, it's 57 through 4, not too bad. Last game before this, we saw some higher pitch counts.
Definitely we did. And now the infield moves in for Wichita State. Bases loaded. Huskers looking to take their first lead of the game. As maybe trying to throw her off a little bit. Metzler calls time before the first pitch is delivered. Lefty-righty matchup here. Metzler waits. Bingham fires. Fastball swung on, dropped to the second baseman. Throwing coming home, and that ball maybe threw her off the bag. It did. Paragon was pulled off the bag by a throw from Hecker. Everyone is safe. A run comes in, and the Huskers have their first lead of the game.
A great play there. And it was a good, knowledgeable play by Hecker to go home, but throw is off. And if it was a better throw, that's an out there. You keep the tie game, and there's 2 down, and similar situation, but Huskers kind of got lucky there.
That should be another error against Wichita State. It will be the second error of the inning against Kaylee Hecker. And it's 2-1 Nebraska as Lexi Knibe steps in. First pitch misses up and inside. It's 1-0. And man, Caelan Bingham, so solid. Set the first 8 Huskers she faced down, and since then she's been reeling.
Yeah, exactly right, Zach. And she played extremely well to start off the game, and now she's giving up some hits. And another one here.
This pitch, a great stop by Hecker at second, flips to first, gets the out at first base. Another run comes in to score, though, as it is Riley who came in to score. This time, Unzicker scored on the last play, and now Riley scores. It's 3-1 Nebraska.
Yeah, that one possibly looked like it could have gone past Hecker there, but she made a good stop and a good flip to Buck for an out. But another run scores, and Huskers lead 3-1.
But that did save probably what would have been a 2 RBI single. And a nice play from Hecker to get the out. So bottom of the order now, here's Taylor Otts. First pitch breaking ball finds the strike zone. It's 0-1. Ott reached base on an infield single her first time. That was actually just last inning. Was also thrown out at home to end the 3rd inning. What was a great throw at the time by Asia Weber. Here's the pitch. That pitch just misses. Nope, it caught the zone as well. So quickly, Ott behind 0-2. Bingham coming out strong here in this at-bat. Still 2 Huskers in scoring position, though, as they could extend the 2-run lead even more.
And that's what Bingham needed to do. She needed to come out strong and try to get the out here and end the inning.
Here's the 0-2, swung on back to the pitcher, back to the pitcher Bingham, I should say, and the throw to first to Buck is in time to retire the side. But Nebraska strikes for 3 runs in the inning to take a 3-1 lead over the Wichita State Shockers, as they'll carry that lead on to the top of the 5th. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. Nebraska strikes for 3 runs in that 4th inning to take their first lead of the game, 3-1. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus. It'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Shockers from Wichita State here in the top of the 5th. And Caelan, already Wichita State's running out of time. They need some runs in response to Nebraska.
Yeah, and it's, they definitely can get some here because this is a very good moment to strike back and try to come back from what they just lost.
First pitch to Nickerson is a ground ball to the shortstop, picked up by Edwards on first to Unziker. 1 pitch, 1 out. Here in the 5th inning, nice start for Olivia Farrell in the Husker defense.
Absolutely. Very quick right here, and simple play made by Edwards to Unziker for the out. Good way to get a quick start, a quick out. Start off the 5th inning.
Field that's been blanketed in sunshine all day is starting to have some shadows creep onto it from the left side as the first offering to Bailey Lange is taken for ball 1. Sun beginning to set in Lincoln, Nebraska. Tomorrow it'll be more of the same here for Game 3. It'll be another gorgeous day in Lincoln. I don't know if it'll be as good as this, but it's supposed to be another good one. Here's the 1-0. Off speed, taken, and I appeal down to third to the third base umpire Terry Holt. He says that Lange did hold up, and so it's 2-0.
Yeah, it looked like it to me. I don't think she went. I think it was a good call.
That looked like the right call from here as well. Farrell sets and fires. Swung on, lifted down the left side. Could be playable for Knibe, and she can't make the play. She was in pursuit, but it fell into playable territory, but not close enough for her to be able to make a play.
Right, Knibe and Metzler both went after that one just over the green fence there, and couldn't make the play.
Lange, the transfer from Northern Iowa, awaits the 2-1. Fastball misses up and outside. It is 3-1 now to the Wichita State designated player here who was the big story in Game 1, a complete game on the mound for Lange. Only 2 runs allowed, and she got the win. Farrell sets 3-1. Popped up high and out of play, somewhat toward our direction.
Good catch over there.
Yeah, nice catch for sure. But again, has to hand it to the event staff. No glory, no souvenirs. Not here.
Man, have you ever caught in a ball or gotten a ball at a game before?
I have. I was 8 years old at a Toronto Blue Jays game in Toronto, and I caught a line shot foul ball. As that 3-2 pitch is in there, called strike 3, froze Bailey Lange. And that's a big out number 2, the second K of the day for Olivia Farrell.
Take another look at it. It's a great pitch right there, and perfect. So that was a line drive you said that you caught?
It was a line drive, yes. And then the bad part about it was that I leaned in front of my brother, the ball was going straight for him, and I leaned in front of him and actually caught the ball, and he was not very happy about that. As the first pitch to Mackenzie Wright is hit into right field, straight at Olivia Simmons, and the inning is over. Shockers go quietly in the 5th, 1-2-3, and the Huskers maintain their 3-1 lead. Stay with us. Huskers coming to the bats when we come back on BTN Plus. New pitcher into the game for Wichita State. It is Haley Martinez that is in, a 5'7" freshman out of Bloomington, Minnesota. 1.20 ERA this season. 1-0 record. This is her 6th appearance, and she's in to face the top of the order for Nebraska, beginning with Olivia Simmons, who takes called strike 1. So just like that, Caitlin Bingham's day is done. She tosses 4 innings, giving up 3 runs on 4 hits. But Caitlin, she didn't get a lot of help. A couple of errors made in that last inning as well.
No, exactly, and she started off very well and continued, and she got out of the inning as best as she could, but obviously errors do not help the situation at all, and especially with that one.
Simmons awaits, and now that pitch is slapped back up the middle. That's a base hit, a leadoff single for Olivia Simmons against the Wichita State reliever Haley Martinez. Has the Huskers off to a nice start in the 5th. Leadoff single.
Good start for the Huskers this inning.
That'll bring up Tristan Edwards, shortstop, who is 0 for 1 today with a walk and a run scored. Hitting .352 this year. Pretty good. Off to a nice start in this game, number 17 of the season for Nebraska. First pitch swinging in the air to right field. Tough play for Llewellyn, who dives, makes a fully extended play What a grab by Paige Llewellyn, the right fielder. She got up to perhaps double off Simmons, but the base runner for Nebraska is quickly back to the bag. Caelan, what a catch as we see this again.
Oh, amazing. She got right up there and tried to find the right path, and she was going right more and then cut it upfield forward, and a good dive to make that catch. And that's one of the most fun things about playing in the outfield is that you can make catches like that.
Finding the sun, too.
Exactly, and that sun is a killer right now. And
yeah, it's not in a good spot for her, ideally.
No,
It's
so
kind of back over where our left shoulder, looking straight into the face of the right fielder, Llewellyn, and she was still able to make that play.
exactly. And you can see right there the first. You can see Buck and Simmons are both covering their eyes from the sun as well, right there. And
They've got their visors on. Those are not too helpful when the sun is directly in front of you, though.
no,
Sunglasses would be more necessary. Here's the 1-1. That pitch is fouled back and out of play. So Caelan Jablonski, who was the starting pitcher in Game 1, came out for about an inning and 2/3 before she came back in and pitched the remainder of the game. And she was hit with a loss in that 6-2 defeat for Nebraska. As there goes the runner on the pitch, and sliding head first is Simmons, and she is in there. Nice job by Olivia Simmons, a stolen base for her.
she's watching there with the looking at the sun in her face again, just took off, and good slide again. And that's what you gotta do, especially when you steal from first to second. You just always want to go away from the throw to that right corner of the bag.
Jablonski is struck out. So they were going for a strike him out, throw him out, but they could not get it to go to fruition as Maddie Unziker steps in. First pitch swinging, fouls it down the right field line and into the bullpen of Wichita State. Unziker is 0 for 1 today, reached base on an error in the 4th and later scored. The runner at second is Simmons. Swinging on this pitch, hits it high in the air center, straight at Bailey Nickerson, who is able to move under it and make the play for the third and final out of the 5th inning. We are through 5 innings at Bolin Stadium, and a 3-1 lead still intact for Nebraska as we head to the top of the 6th. Wichita State coming to the bats when we come back. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. Top of the 6th inning here at Bolin Stadium, 3-1 lead in favor of the hometown Huskers. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus. A long day at the ballpark here in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Not done yet, though, as Wichita State running out of time. They need some runs. First pitch swinging here is Riley Buck. That was backing out of play. It'll be Buck, Duraco, and Llewellyn for the Shockers here in the top of the 6th. And it'd be a huge day for Wichita State if they could sweep a doubleheader on the road in Lincoln.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic. And got another game tomorrow, so if the Huskers hold on to this one, they can play the rubber match. But either way, if they can get 2 wins here today and then another one, either way it's just good because, you know, Nebraska's a team with ranked votes and they received votes in the polls, so they're a solid squad.
Nebraska off to that 10-6 start now after the loss here in Game 1 in their home opener. Here's the 1-1. Swung on, lifted left side. Could be playable for the third baseman, Nye, but it is not as it drifts up over the screen. But it is 1-2. Buck today is 1 for 2. A single, was stranded at third in that first inning, and we talked about it, Caelan. If that moment could loom large, the Shockers had runners at third and second with only 1 out and didn't score any runs in the top of the first inning. That looms large now in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And when you have a situation like that and you just cannot get those runners home, it hurts.
1-2, slap to the right side. It'll trickle into the glove of Maddie Unziker. Another foul ball is battle brewing here between Buck and Farrell. Farrell out here for her 6th inning of work. She's been pretty good today. Only 1 run allowed on 4 hits.
Playing 2 games in 1 day is always tough on a player. You just feel like you've been out there the entire time and the sun beats down on you.
1-2, misses inside, and it is now 2-2. Good take there from Buck. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. If I'm these players, I don't really mind the sun beating down on me. Not today. I mean, it feels great outside.
It's true.
Although the wind could be a little much if you're out there, I'm sure. About 20 miles per hour pretty consistently at least the whole day with gusts that are up to 30 miles per hour as this pitch is lifted into the air foul territory. Can the catcher Riley make a play? Yes, she can. Straight into the glove of Allie Riley. And that is the first out here of the 6th inning. All of a sudden, Caelan, we can really start talking about Wichita State is running out of time quick.
Yeah, exactly. You only have about 5 outs left.
Well, you don't want to count outs there, Caelan. That's rule 1.
Sorry about that one.
Counting outs can be dangerous.
It's true.
As Lori Duraco steps in, lined on the left side as it hits just the end of the screen there and ricochets back into the field. So it's 0-1.
And you and I know that it's only a 2-run game right now. It's a good situation that as long as you get a batter on and a good hit, bring it within 1 and just find things to roll and get the ball moving, and that's all you gotta do is just get someone on base.
Last time Duraco was up, she hit that solo home run as she watches ball 1 drift by. She's 2 for 2 today with a home run and a double. Not a bad day at the office for her. And we know that Wichita State can score in bunches. They scored 4 runs in that first game. All 4 runs with 2 outs as well. As that 1-1 misses outside, it's 2-1.
Exactly, and if Duraco can get something going here and start momentum to pick up for Wichita State, there's only 1 out right now, and they can keep things going and try to get some more hits and come back in this game.
Farrell sets. Here's the 2-1. That does catch the outside corner. Similar placement to the last pitch, but it finds the zone this time. Evens back up at 2-2. Duraco hitting .250 this season for Wichita State, having a nice game today. Nice doubleheader today. This pitch has hit the left side. Tough play for Knibe. Throws back across the infield, and the ball cannot be scooped by Unzicker. Would have been a phenomenal play by the first baseman, who was pulled a little bit off the bag. But Lexi Knibe did a good job to stop the ball, but was not able to make the throw back across her body in time to first.
Yeah, very tough and almost a good scoop by Unzicker to get the out. See what they call that one up on the board.
They should rule it a hit, and they do. That's definitely the right choice. As now Paige Llewellyn will come up. She's 1 for 2 today. Struck out in the first, a single last time up, and this ball is lifted over the head of Unzicker and into shallow right field. Holding up at second is Duraco. And staying at first with a single is Llewellyn. And you talked about it, Caelan. They can strike quickly, and very quickly there's 2 base runners on for Wichita State, trailing by 2.
Right, their first part was just to get someone on base, and they did that with Duraco, and she got on, and then Llewellyn with that ball right over Unzicker's head to get 2, and now there's 2 on base right now. Only 1 out, so if they can get something else going with Martinez up to bat next, and maybe they can come back in this game.
I'm not sure what they're doing here because this is Caitlin Bingham that's standing in here, who is the pitcher.
Yeah, this
for Wichita State, but we're getting conflicting information, but we'll see if that's correct. I think that it is. It is still Caitlin Bingham who was the starting pitcher in this game for Wichita State.
Right, because Haley Martinez came in to pitch, so Caitlin Bingham will stay in to hit.
Bingham is in. She's 0 for 1 today with a sacrifice bunt her last time up, along with a ground out to the second baseman, Barrow. Big opportunity here. First pitch found the zone. No, it did not. I thought the umpire, Scott Greger, said that it found the zone, but just misses downstairs. It's 1-0. Bingham was the one who grounded out to second to end the first inning when Wichita State stranded 2 runners in scoring position. 1-0 pitch, misses down and away. It's 2-0. So now, Caelan, Bingham has a chance to somewhat redeem herself with a base hit here that could potentially cut the deficit in half.
Exactly. If you're her, you're going to want to make a good approach at the plate and fight off some pitches. And with that 2-0 count, it's her count even 2-1 here. She's got a chance to make a good swing of the bat and score a run.
Nebraska trying some trickery there with Allie Riley, the catcher, throwing down to second to try and pick off Duraco. But nothing doing down there. 2 on, 1 out. This is a big moment in this game. Wichita State trying to tie it up. There's the pitch. That just misses the inside corner. It's 3-1. Boy, that was close.
Very close here.
But home plate umpire Scott Greger has been pretty consistent all day, staying consistent here. Very tough pitch to lay off, though, for Bingham, and she was able to do it. It's 3-1. And this is a huge pitch. You do not want to walk Caelan Bingham. Fastball just caught the outside corner about shoulder high. We got a full count here.
This is going to be a very important pitch right here. You know, can either get an out or walk, maybe a hit. You don't know what can happen, but for the case of this situation, Wichita State needs to get something, either the walk or a hit.
3-2. Swung on line shot to the second baseman, caught by Barrow, back to first, in time, double play. A line shot to Laura Barrow, and she's able to double off Llewellyn at first as Unziker makes the play at first, and the inning is over.
That is huge here for Nebraska. Wow, just right in position. Barrow made the catch, and just an easy throw to Unziker to end the inning here.
That is a phenomenal job by the Nebraska defense to get out of a huge jam, and they maintain their 3-1 lead onto the bottom of the 6th here at Bolin Stadium. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. 3-1 lead for Nebraska in the home half of the 6th inning here at Bolin Stadium. Zach Penrice alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus as you take a look at Nebraska's upcoming schedule following the Game 3 of this 3-game series with Wichita State. The Huskers go back on the road. A game at Green Bay, Northern Iowa, Tulsa, and a game at Kansas. Those games all part of the Jayhawk Invitational. All those games at Lawrence, Kansas, and KU, playing games against Green Bay, Northern Iowa, Green Bay again, and then KU. So the Huskers staying busy this week, Caelan. Staying close to home, but definitely staying busy.
Oh, yeah. A lot of times what softball does, softball, baseball, you just got to play a bunch of games.
Wichita State will have their home opener this week with a doubleheader on Tuesday against Arkansas. As Allie Riley checks in to lead off the 6th inning, watches the first 2 pitches go by for balls 1 and 2. Riley has perhaps been the Husker MVP in today's doubleheader. She had 2 RBIs in the first game and big RBI single in the 4th, and also a run scored today in game number 2, and a big reason why the Huskers have a 3-1 lead right now. And they're only 3 outs away from securing their first victory at Bolin Stadium in 2018.
Just a big moment, especially for Allie Riley, the freshman, someone who doesn't get a lot of experience, but played well today, and that's all that matters.
2-0 pitch is lifted into the berm behind the Wichita State dugout. It is 2-1. Allie Riley, yeah, just a freshman. Hitting .364 now this season. Her average has skyrocketed today in this doubleheader as she swings and just gets a piece and fouls it back to the screen. Evens the count back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Would you be surprised if we do not see Olivia Farrell for Nebraska in the circle when it comes to the top of the 7th inning here to try and close things out?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if I'd be surprised necessarily, but I think she's been doing a good enough job that she might come back.
I would be surprised, I think, for Nebraska if they do not go back to her, but we'll see what they do as Riley is sent down on strikes, the 2nd K for Haley Martinez out of the bullpen for Wichita State. That's the first out of the 6th inning. If you're the Shockers, you can not allow any more runs in this inning. They have to keep the deficit at 2 where it is, as this first pitch to Olivia Farrell is slapped all the way to the wall in right center field around first, going for second. She's in there with a stand-up double. Olivia Farrell, talk about whether or not she's going to come out and close the game in the top of the 7th. She's not thinking about that at all. She's standing at second base.
Exactly. She's thinking about hitting this one into right center field. Gets behind Llewellyn there. Probably would have been a single. It's behind her and takes second base there. Good awareness to see that. You know, looking out where the ball is and following it. Watched it go behind Llewellyn there and take second base.
Here comes Gina Metzler now. First pitch swinging, fouls it back to the screen, and if there was no screen, that was going straight for Caelan Debban right there.
I know. I was actually just thinking that. I was coming back here, almost wanted to wince. But once again, it hits those screens, which are wonderful, wonderful here at a softball stadium.
Runner at second, 1 out, and that is a big insurance run for Nebraska if they can bring her home. As the 0-1 misses down and away, it is 1-1. At this point, that run means the world for Rhonda Ravel and her club. A potential 4th run in this game. 1-1 fastball just caught the outside corner. Nice delivery from Haley Martinez. It's 1-2. Martinez, the freshman from Bloomington, Minnesota. A couple of freshmen that have stepped into the circle for Wichita State here in Game 2. And they've held their own. 3 runs allowed, only 6 hits. 1-2. And they're going to wave that pitch off, actually, as I think they awarded time to Gina Metzler before that pitch was delivered.
I talk about it here.
Confusing stuff again. We've seen some oddball type plays today, and they do say it was ruled in there, so it's a 2-2 count now. Home plate umpire Scott Greger.
It's our first game back for the season, and some crazy stuff that happens.
2-2, just missed the outside corner, loads up the count at 3-2. And yeah, first game back, obviously some quirks to work out, some things to remember. It's been a while since you've watched softball. 3-2, hits down left field line. In pursuit were several Shocker defenders, including Asia Weber. She was closest but could not make the play. Huskers in their home openers today. They won't be back home until March 14th for a couple of games against South Dakota State. So it'll be over a week until these Huskers are back home after tomorrow's game against Wichita State. Here's the 3-2. Swung on, hit to the right side, scooped up by Hecker, the second baseman. Looks the runner back to second and goes on to first to Buck for out number 2. Perfect play defensively by Hecker to look the runner Farrell back and throw on to first for out number 2.
Right, Hecker is the one accountable for the 2 errors, but that happens sometimes. Players aren't perfect. Things like that happens. At least she made the play this time, and that's all you really care about. Even though you're in this 3-1 situation, just keep playing defense.
Here's Lexi Nye, and it is, for now, up to her to bring in this huge insurance run for Nebraska. She is 0 for 2 today with an RBI. Last time up, grounded out to second, but brought in a run along the way. The 0-1 pitch misses way upstairs, evens the count back up at 1-1. Haley Martinez, the best ERA on this team, and it's not even close, really. She's got a 1.20 ERA and a 1-0 record to go along with that. So she's been a go-to reliever for Wichita State. Her 6th appearance here. No starts this season.
Sorry if I've ever gone in.
Here's the pitch. That's back to the screen again. And the count evens up at 2-2. Deuces wild at Bowlin Stadium. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs with a runner on second. Any more 2s? I don't think so. I think we covered them all.
It's March 3rd. Dang it.
Close. Almost March 3rd. Almost March 2nd, I should say. It is March 3rd. As Lexi Nye, the third baseman for Nebraska, waits. 2-2. Swung on, just gets a piece and sends it over toward Taylor Ott, who is in the on-deck circle. And actually, it's a pinch hitter for Nebraska in the on-deck circle, Riley Unzicker. So if Nye were to get on board, it would be the pinch hitter, Riley Unzicker, as that pitch misses the zone. It is a full count. So Olivia Farrell should be moving on the pitch here from her position at second base. Squaring to bunt is Nye. She pulls back. Swung on, hit to the left side. That is a diving play, cannot be made by Duraco. Holding up at third, though, will be Farrell. As Nye does deliver, the inning remains alive. Runners at the corners and 2 outs. And here comes the pinch hitter in a big spot, Riley Unziker.
Good hit by Naib right there. Got it right through it. Almost hit Farrell. She kind of took a step back and then made the rest of the way to third and couldn't go home on that one. But, yep, right now it's going to be Unziker.
Riley Unziker.
Riley Unziker. Exactly, sister.
The younger sister of Maddie Unziker.
Sitting for the Huskers is number 1, Riley Unziker.
5'7" freshman out of Omaha. Unziker, the younger sister, of course, of Maddie Unziker. Just a freshman here. Scoring to bunt, pulls back way out in front of that first offering. It is 0-1. Talked about this as well. Maddie Unziker broke a lot of records at Millard South, but Riley broke a lot more records. Has the career record at Millard South in hits, doubles, home runs, RBIs, runs scored, and batting average. That's pretty good.
She's a pretty good player. We'll give her that.
She hit .524 while at Millard South and had 38 home runs, which is one more home run in her career than her older sister, Maddie.
I don't know if I'd be proud of her or upset that she took my record.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I'm in Maddie's shoes.
I don't know how I'd feel about that. Just some sibling rivalries, no big deal.
You gotta imagine that Riley would just hang that over her head for forever.
I mean, I don't know. That's a record that, well, they can't go back to high school, so
Exactly.
it's a record she'll always have. As Ryan Stefanowicz for Wichita State, the pitching coach, quick visit to the circle to talk with Haley Martinez. As talked about Stefanowicz earlier, he is a UNL graduate, journalism major here, and now he's the pitching coach for Wichita State. And now the count runs to 2 balls and 1 strike. Riley Unziker, a big chance here for her to extend Nebraska's lead. A batting average that sits at .071 this year. 14 at-bats. She only has 1 hit. The 2-1. That pitch finds the strike zone. Evens it back up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner at first is Naib. Runner at third that matters a lot here is Olivia Farrell, who should probably be coming out to close out this game in the top of the 7th. 2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Huge strikeout for Haley Martinez, her 3rd of the evening. And it gets Wichita State out of a huge jam in the bottom of the 6th to send this game on to the 7th. 3-1 Huskers. Last chance for Wichita State is coming up when we come back. Stay with us. You're watching BTN Plus. Last chance for Wichita State here in the top of the 7th as they trail 3-1. Zach Pendarce alongside Caelan Debban here on BTN Plus as you take a quick look at Wichita State's upcoming schedule after one more game tomorrow here in Lincoln against the Cornhuskers. The Shockers go home for the first time this season with 6 games in a row at home, including a couple of games against Arkansas on Tuesday, followed by a game against Missouri State, and then 2 against Western Illinois next weekend as well. Wichita State has not played their home opener yet, but they're only a few days away from doing so. For the Shockers here, this is it for them. They have Madison Perrigan, Asia Weber, and Bailey Nickerson. And they're facing off against Olivia Farrell for Nebraska, who does stay in. First pitch misses the zone, up and in. It's 1-0.
This would be a very, very good win here if Farrell can hold on with this one.
Farrell has gone the distance in this game so far. 6 innings pitched, 1 run, and 6 hits. As the 1-0 drifts down and inside, it's 2-0. Perrigan, 5'8" sophomore from Mustang, Oklahoma. Pre-med at Wichita State, hitting .205 this season. And boy, do the Shockers need a leadoff batter aboard.
Absolutely. She would be huge right here if she can get on.
The 2-0. Fastball right down Main Street. It is in there for called strike 1. 2-1. I'd say about 80% of the fans that we started with here at Bowlin Stadium are still here, enjoying what has been 14 innings of baseball. As the 2-1 pitch finds the strike zone again. It's 2-2. 14 innings of softball here at Bowlin Stadium.
Softball. Except the balls aren't much softer, are they here?
No.
Just bigger.
Just bigger.
Always wondered that.
We'll find out at some point. 2-2, slap to the left side. Good play by the shortstop Edwards on to first. That's in time to Unziker. Big out number 1 for Olivia Farrell in the Husker defense here in the top of the 7th.
Just trying to get 2 more outs here to try to win this game for the Huskers, but good play by Edwards. Pretty routine from what she's been playing at shortstop this season. Good throw on to Unziker for the first out of the inning.
Here's a left-handed hitting Asia Weber. Here comes Farrell. First pitch misses outside, just a little bit off the plate. It's 1-0. Remember, we're back here tomorrow. Nebraska in Game 3 of this series against Wichita State. 1 p.m. first pitch right here on BTN Plus. Here's the 1-0. Swung on back up the middle. That's a base hit across the outstretched glove of Laura Barrow. And that's a big first hit in this 7th inning. Wichita State has got their runner on base, and now the tying run comes to the plate in the form of Bailey Nickerson.
Absolutely. Asia Weber getting the first hit there of the inning. And now has a good chance. Maybe this will build some momentum for Wichita State and try to come back and tie this one here in the final inning.
That's the 7th hit for Wichita State. Farrell ready to go. First pitch is fouled back to the screen. It's 0-1. Caelan, we talked about it too. If Wichita State it does end up coming up empty here, we'll have to go back and look at that first inning missed opportunity. Had runners at second and third with only 1 out, and they didn't get either of those runners in. That is a huge moment in this game.
Right, and both teams have 7 hits, but the Huskers lead on the scoreboard.
Those 2 errors for Wichita State have been a big difference in this game as the 0-1 pitch finds the strike zone as well. It is quickly 0-2 to Nickerson, who was 0 for 2 today. A couple of ground outs to shortstop on her resume here in Game 2. They're going to need more than that if the Shockers want to come back and tie this game up or potentially take the lead. Here's the 0-2. Fastball just misses down and away. Good 0-2 spot, though, from Farrell, trying to see if Nickerson would chase. She would not. And it's 1-2.
Yeah, all of the times, once again, on those 0-2 pitches, you got to see if they will chase, if the batter will chase, but that time Nickerson didn't.
Runner at first is Weber, who just singled up the middle. Here's the 1-2. Off-speed ground ball left side. Tough play for the third baseman. Nye makes the play, and the throw is wide of Barrow at second base. Into right field, play at third base, not in time as Weber moves up 2 bags. Safe at first as Nickerson. Wichita State has got something cooking here as the Huskers have their first error defensively of the day.
And what a time to have it, right here in the last inning, and looked like it was going to be a good play and a good throw, but it was a good decision. Good decision by Nye. The throw that went to second just a little far off right.
Definitely the right play, just not executed correctly, and so that makes things very interesting here. Runners at the corners and 1 out for Wichita State. Bottom of the order with Bailey Lange.
Right, it's just a dangerous time to have that first error.
And now we've got both head coaches involved over on the left side of the infield with Rhonda Revelle and Christy Bredbenner. They were both talking to the umpires quickly about what was going on, and now they rule the runner out. They've ruled Asia Weber out, saying perhaps there was interference over at second base. Wow. I'm not sure what happened there. They rule her out, though, and that is a huge moment. Let's take another look.
You can look at the replay here, and there's Nye making the play, and a good throw to the right. Was it?
She didn't touch the bag. That's what. She missed second base completely, it looks like. And that's good heads up by Rhonda Revelle. Let's see. Did she ever touch the bag? I don't think so.
That's really close on this one. I think she slid too far right.
Either way, great heads up by Rhonda Revelle, who was watching it the entire time, and now there's 2 outs.
Right, that one, that could just save this game right here, potentially.
We'll see. Nickerson at first. Lange the batter. That ball skips away from the catcher, Riley. Goes all the way to the backstop. Holding up at second is Nickerson. She'll stay there. And excuse me, we have a pinch hitter here, for Wichita State. Mariana Jamel is here for the last hope for Wichita State. Mariana Jameli, 5'1" junior from Flower Mound, Texas. Runner at second, 2 out. When you think about that in the last moment, Caelan, a second ago, that would have brought in the second run for Wichita State.
That's exactly right. That's why Rhonda Ravel is so good at what she does.
So that would have been 3-2 with 1 out and a runner at second. Now that moment completely changed everything. The count is 1-1 with 2 outs.
They must feel very confident with Jameli here and try to get a hit.
Here's the pitch back across the pitcher, straight to the shortstop. Edwards, this could be it. On to first, and it is. The Huskers escape from Wichita State, and they split this doubleheader with the Shockers. A big 3-1 win to improve to 11-6 on the year.
Yeah, good play by Edwards. He reached down low to get that ball and got it across to Unziger for the final out of the game, and now it's tied 1-1, and tomorrow will be the rubber match.
Nebraska improves to 11-6 on the year. Wichita State falls back to 500 where they started at the beginning of the day. They're 8-8 on the year. The rubber match tomorrow, as you said, Caelan, right here on BTN Plus. A 1 o'clock first pitch is scheduled here at Bowlin Stadium. Well, for our entire Big Ten Network crew, I'm Zach Penrice saying so long and good night. Again, the final here in Game 2 of today's doubleheader. Wichita State falls to Nebraska, with the Huskers taking the win 3-1. This has been a presentation of BTN Softball on BTN Plus.